So hey guys, welcome back to another brand new anime explanation. Today we're diving into episode 1 of Dad is a Hero, Mom is a Spirit, and I'm a Reincarnator. And trust me, this anime is genuinely amazing. So let's jump straight into the explanation without wasting any time. But yeah, don't forget to hype up the video. The episode begins by telling us about a kingdom named Tanba. The people there lived in peace and harmony. Until one day, monsters suddenly appeared and started creating chaos everywhere. The king immediately summoned a young man, known as the Wizard King, and ordered him to defeat the monsters alone. This young wizard wasn't fighting by himself though. A spirit companion was at his side, helping him battle the monstrous horde. But soon, the monsters began overwhelming him. Exhausted and falling behind, the wizard wished desperately for help. Hearing his wish, the spirit stepped in and unleashed a powerful attack, wiping out all the monsters at once. But the young wizard had used up all his strength and was barely alive. The spirit couldn't bear to see him die, so she took him to her own world to heal him. Years passed. The wizard never returned to his kingdom. Now the scene shifts. We see a small boy asking his mother, "Mom, when will he come back?" She replies, "We don't know yet." Then we see a man carrying a little girl in his arms. She looks at him and says, "Father, shouldn't he return by now?" He gently tells her to be quiet as he buys some food from a shop. Just as the man is about to leave, two other men walk into the store. One of them recognizes him and says, "Lord Rowell?" The man with the hat sighs and mutters, "Damn, looks like he spotted me." He immediately tells his daughter to run, and they sprint away as the two men chase after them. Lord Rowell reaches a dead end. The two men corner him, insisting he can't escape this time. But suddenly, he vanishes. The men stare in confusion, wondering why he's running away at all. The scene shifts again. Rowell appears in another spot with his daughter. She asks, "Father, why won't you return home? What's the real reason?" He hesitates and explains, "If I go back now, things will become extremely complicated. You don't understand. Returning would create chaos." The girl narrates to us, "This is my father, Lord Rowell. He once saved an entire kingdom, and the story you heard isn't nearly the full story." She continues explaining, "When my father collapsed in battle years ago, he met the Spirit Queen. She saved his life and took him to her world. Over time, the two of them fell in love. My father even became half spirit, and eventually they got married. And then, 8 years ago, I was born. But there's more. Actually, I'm a reincarnator. In my previous life, I was a scientist in Japan. I researched a lot, but one day something happened, and I died. I don't even know the reason. Then I reincarnated here. Even now, I can't fully use my powers. That's why my father trains with me. When he saw my teleportation ability, everything became even more complicated, and that's why people have been chasing him." The girl scolds her father. "It's your fault. You never contacted anyone all these years. If they know you're alive, of course they'll chase you. At least show yourself once and explain, then you could live peacefully." Before Rowell can reply, another man appears and says, "Lord Rowell, is that really you?" Rowell panics again and runs with his daughter. She asks, "Father, who is he? Why is he chasing you?" Rowell replies, "That's Albert. He used to be my bodyguard." But instead of reacting seriously, Rowell excitedly shows off his daughter to Albert. "Hey, Albert, look at my daughter. Isn't she adorable? Look at her silver hair. And her eyes, aren't they lovely? Come on, say something." Albert is stunned. He wonders, is this really the same man I used to know? Later, Albert updates Rowell on everything that has happened since he disappeared. He says, "The Duke is waiting for your return. Everyone is." Rowell brushes it off, saying, "Well, my younger brother is head of the household now, so I don't need to go back." Albert replies, "No, that's not the point. The lady, Ajussi, is involved." Rowell gets angry. "Why did Ajussi marry my brother?" Albert clarifies, "You misunderstood. She was your fiancée, but when you left to fight, you broke the engagement because you weren't sure you'd survive. After that, she was forced to marry your brother." Hearing this, Rowell's daughter gets upset again. "Father, it's your fault. You need to visit your family at least once." She storms off, saying she hates him. Rowell immediately panics. No, don't say that. I'll go right now. Please don't be angry." Albert watches all of this in disbelief. He still can't believe this cheerful, childish man is the legendary hero he once served. The scene shifts again. Raoul and Albert head toward the capital so Raoul can finally meet the king. But Raoul suddenly stops. Wait, before that, I need to visit the church. Albert asks why. Raoul replies, I need to register my marriage here as well. Albert is confused. Raoul explains, you see, I married someone 10 years ago, but that marriage happened in another world. I need proof in this world too. They reach the church and the priest recognizes Raoul instantly. Raoul says, I want to officially register my marriage. The priest asks, fine, but where's your wife? Raoul smiles, oh, don't worry, I'll summon her. He calls out, Ori, come on down. A moment later, light shines from above. A beautiful spirit woman descends gracefully. This is Ori, the spirit queen, Raoul's wife. Everyone is stunned. Raoul's daughter shouts, oh wow, father, you look so handsome today. Raoul laughs, really? The priest is speechless. A spirit, a real spirit. Raoul explains that he is now half spirit himself, and that he and Ori were married 10 years ago. Ori greets Albert warmly. Albert, it's been a long time. Albert is shocked again as he remembers seeing her beside Raoul's unconscious body years ago. After that, the scene shifts, and we see Raoul's father saying, I'm truly happy. My daughter has done so much for me. The scene shifts again, and now everyone is finally ready to meet the king. At that moment, Elon gathers all the diamonds and hands them to the priest. She says, please keep these. Whenever you're in need, use them. The priest smiles warmly and says, you really are a kind girl, extremely generous. The scene cuts once more, and we see Raoul. He says, I want you, Ori, and Elon to return to the spirit world. They ask him, why? Raoul replies, the person I'm about to meet is a terrible woman. If she finds out I'm married, she might completely lose her mind and do anything to you. So they say, all right, if you're saying so, we'll leave. Raoul tells them, you can watch me through the water mirror from there. They agree and prepare to leave for the spirit world. The scene shifts and we see them entering that world, while Raoul begins walking toward his home. Right then, Albert starts sharing a bit of the past. He explains, when Raoul refused to marry the princess, she sent my father and me to the front lines during the monster war. Because of that, my father died, and I was badly injured. And the rest, you already know. The scene shifts again, and we see a white flag raised across the entire kingdom. Everyone understands instantly. Raoul has returned. People gather everywhere just to see him, smiling and cheering with joy. Raoul finally reaches his home. The master of the house greets him, saying, you're finally back. He leads him inside. And suddenly a chubby girl runs toward him. She jumps in excitement and says, Raoul, you finally came back. She tries to hug him, but Raoul steps aside and says, whoa, who is this chubby girl? She smiles and says, you recognized me. I was your first love. But honestly, she looks awful. Before Raoul can react, we see Ori in the spirit world getting furious. She shouts, this fat pig is flirting with my man. I'll kill her. But Elon calms her down. Stop, you can't do that. You'll cause trouble for everyone here. Ori finally cools down. And with that, the episode ends. Tell me in the comments how you liked this episode and the explanation. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright then, I'll meet you again in another video with another explanation. Until then, take care and goodbye. So now we see this chubby woman standing right in front of Ravel, and she says, Lord Ravel, wait, I'll take you to your daughter right now. Then she starts shouting, Amelia, where are you? Your father is here. Hurry up and come meet him. And then we literally see a tiny version of her running down from upstairs. She stumbles, falls, rolls down the steps, and lands right in front of Ravel. And honestly, even she looks exactly like a little potato. The woman says, here, look, this is your daughter. Please meet her. On the other side, we see Alone, and she is so angry that the entire castle is shaking. Her mother stops her and says, Alone, stop. You're going to destroy the whole castle. Don't worry, your father belongs only to you. Don't listen to anything they say. Then that chubby woman steps forward again and says, Lord Ravel, just look at how cute your daughter is. Isn't she just like me? Ravel's aide turns around and asks, Ravel, isn't this girl Soul's daughter? Ravel replies, I can't say anything for sure. Right then, Saul arrives, Ravel's younger brother. He says, I heard my brother came back. Where is he? I want to meet him. He sees Rovel and becomes really happy. Rovel asks, how long have you been suffering through all this? And why in the world did you marry this woman? The chubby woman comes forward and says, Soul, you came at the perfect time. I've been waiting for you. I want a divorce right now because Rovel is here, and I want to marry him instead. And Soul says, how many times have I told you not to wear all those heavy ornaments? They're not meant for you. She snaps back, no, they're meant for me. And what do you think I am? I'm a noble woman. If I don't wear these, how will I look? Rovel interrupts and says, Saul, don't discuss your family problems in front of everyone. Leave it. We'll talk later. Then he says, Lauren, go inform the royal palace that I've returned and tell them I'll visit tomorrow. Also notify the Justice Department that we're visiting tomorrow. People around him ask, but why are we going there? Rovel answers, Saul, tomorrow I'm going to arrange your divorce. So, hearing this, the chubby woman becomes extremely happy, as if she's about to marry Rovel himself. She's glowing with excitement, and those two ladies sitting nearby are laughing nonstop. And honestly, watching that scene, my blood was boiling. The scene shifts. Now Saul is explaining everything that happened to him. Rovel listens and asks, all right, but why did you marry her in the first place? Saul says he doesn't know how it happened, and that he was completely drunk on the wedding night, so he doesn't remember anything. Rovel says, that won't be an issue in the divorce. She herself is claiming the child isn't hers. Anyway, we'll deal with tomorrow's matters tomorrow. And listen, during the hearing, speak only when asked. Just answer yes or no. Don't say more than necessary. Saul nods. Okay, I understand. Then Rovel apologizes to him. Saul asks, brother, where were you for the past 10 years? Rovel replies, for 10 years. I was in the spirit world. I even got married there. And guess what? I have a little daughter too. Saul says, really? He replies, yeah, she's super cute, but keep this a secret until your divorce is finalized. No one outside this room should know. Saul says, brother, I also want to tell you something. There's a woman I love, and I even have a daughter with her. Rovel says, that doesn't bother me. Saul adds, but she's not a noble. She's from a lower class. Rovel says, that doesn't matter either. Once this chubby witch leaves your house, bring her home. If you love her, that's enough. Saul becomes emotional and says he's really happy that Rovel understands him. Then he makes another request. Brother, I want you to take over the family business now. I can't handle it anymore. I've been dragging it for 10 years. Rovel says, you'll have to handle it yourself. I'm half spirit now. I'm no longer suited to be the head of a human household. But Saul pleads and begs, saying he really can't handle it anymore. Rovel starts thinking deeply. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see Ori and Alone talking. They say, Rovel looks really stressed. We should go help him. Alone agrees. They both come to the human world to support him. Everyone is shocked to see them and wonders who they are. Rovel introduces them to everyone and says, this is my wife Ori, and this is my daughter Alone. Isn't she cute? Go on, say it quickly. Everyone agrees she's really cute. Then Ori and Alone talk to Rovel and ask him why he's refusing to stay here to help his brother, when he always used to worry about his family in the past. Then he says, all right, fine. I can't win against the two of you anyway. He walks over to Saul and says, from today onward, I'll stay with you, but only as your assistant. You will be the one running the household. And here, Saul agrees. Next, we see the old man, Lauren, walk up to Alone. He says, my lady, you are unbelievably cute. You can call me Grandpa if you want. And when she sweetly says, Grandpa, this man clutches his chest and says, ah, I'm done for. No one survives this kind of cuteness. Then Alone asks, but should I really call you Grandpa? And he answers, of course. Right then, Rovel steps in and says, absolutely not. She's not calling you Grandpa. Lauren replies, not even you can stop me from being called Grandpa now. And these two literally start arguing, while Alone keeps calling him Grandpa again and again. Lauren finally says, fine. From today, whatever you want, just ask me. I'll get it for you. No one can stop me. I finally have a super cute granddaughter. Hearing this, the old man becomes extremely happy. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see that chubby woman yelling, my wine glass is empty. Refill it quickly. The scene shifts again, and we see Rovel and everyone else sitting with the family, talking peacefully. Rovel says, Saul, don't worry. I'll fix everything tomorrow. Then he turns to his wife and says, "I want you to stay with me tomorrow and take care of me." His wife immediately lays his head on her lap. Rovel is so happy at this moment it's almost hilarious. His daughter comments, "Wow, my dad turned out to be such a flirt. What do I even say to him?" Someone beside her says, Hey, don't talk like that. Who calls their dad a flirt?" She replies, "Why shouldn't I? Look at the way he's acting." Her mother steps in and says, "Don't talk like that to your father. Speak nicely, at least a little." But Alone doesn't listen. She keeps calling him a flirt again and again. Still, the three of them laughing together makes everyone around them feel genuinely happy. They say, "Finally, this family looks truly joyful." The scene shifts again. Now we see the king, who has just learned that Rovel has returned. He also hears about the Spirit King, Agiel, and gets nervous. But beside him stands another man, probably his son. His name is revealed to be Reweisel. Reweisel steps forward and says, "There is no need to be afraid. Just do exactly what I tell you tomorrow. Whatever happens, don't anger Rovel. For the past 10 years, he hasn't been here, and during that time, you've done nothing worthy of his trust. So tomorrow, the moment he arrives, you must not upset him. Simply grant whatever he asks for." The king sighs and says, "Fine." The scene shifts again. Now we see Rovel entering the kingdom. He stands before the king and says, "Accept my greetings." The king nods and says, "Lift your head. I'm pleased with you. You've done well by returning. Now tell me, whatever you wish, I will grant it." So he says, "All right, I have 2 desires here." They ask, "What are they?" He replies, "First, I want you to stop interfering in my family matters. And second, my brother Solval will divorce your daughter." Hearing this, everyone is shocked. They ask, why would he get a divorce? He says, "It's not my brother's desire, it's your daughter's." Everyone is stunned, wondering why she would want that. He adds, "We don't know, but she told us she loves another man." Hearing that, they are even more shocked. Just then, Rovel, the son, steps forward and says, "I'll speak on behalf of my father now." He says, "Fine, we'll accept your request, but you'll need to compromise a little." The man asks, "Compromise in what way?" The scene shifts to Alone on the other side. She asks her mother, "Who is this black-hearted guy? He looks awful." Her mother asks, "Why are you calling him black-hearted?" Alone answers, "Because everything inside him is pitch black. All I can see in his core is darkness." Then the scene shifts back. He talks to Rovel and says, "Look, Rovel, I want you to return and protect the kingdom." Rovel replies, "I can't make that decision. The head of my family is my brother, not me. Whatever he decides, I will follow." After saying this, his guard steps forward and says, "All right, then we'll continue this tomorrow." The scene shifts again, and the next day we see the court. The judge asks, "Agiel, I've heard you want this divorce on your own." She says, "Yes, absolutely, and I'll keep calling him fat from now on." The judge asks both of them, "Are you both agreeing to this divorce willingly?" She says, "Yes, I want the divorce as fast as possible so I can live my life freely." The judge continues, "It says here the reason for the divorce is that you love someone else." She replies, "Yes, I do. I'm in love with Lord Rovel." Everyone is shocked. Her husband says, "How is that possible? You're doing something wrong. How can you flirt with another man while being married?" She proudly says, "Yes, and Lord Rovel is the father of my child, so I will marry him." He replies, "That's impossible. Your previous engagement was canceled long ago. He's not your fiancé anymore, so you can't marry him." Rovel steps forward and says, "As for the child, she can't be mine. I've been missing for the last 10 years, and your daughter is only 8. How could that even be possible?" The judge understands the situation and announces, "This marriage is officially annulled. The divorce is approved." Agiel becomes extremely happy, thinking she can now marry anyone she wants. But then the judge adds, "You're banned for life from marrying any other man because what you've done is unacceptable. You flirted with other men while having a husband." Hearing this, Agiel starts crying loudly. Honestly, seeing her like that is kind of hilarious. She begs for mercy, but the judge says, "No, you did something wrong, so you must face the consequences." She looks at her father and brother and says, "Do something." But they say, "No, this is exactly what you deserve." The court session ends and the scene shifts to Alone and the others talking. They wonder how everything went so smoothly and why the black-hearted man didn't do anything. Then we see Ravel meeting Raziel. Raziel says, I heard you have a wife and daughter in the spirit world. How did that happen? Ravel asks, how do you even know this? Who told you? Raziel ignores the question and says, forget that. I'd like to meet your daughter. I heard she's very cute. Ravel warns him, this is the first and last time I'm telling you. If you dare even look toward my family again, I won't let you live. Raziel smirks and says, oh, really? All right, I won't do anything. For now. Ravel says, not for now. Forever. Stay away from my family. The scene shifts and Ravel finally returns home. He shouts, Lauren! Lauren runs in and Ravel says, call Albert immediately.